Hello and welcome to Southwest Boxing Media. Bit of a Zoom chat today, bit of a Zoom podcast with the ex or former WBO Cruiserweight World title holder, that is Enzo Mac. So I'm just going to get Ciaran in now. Let's have a look. Waiting for Ciaran to join us.
Scotty.
Kate, how are we doing?
I'm very good, thanks, mate. How's yourself?
I'm not bad. I've just done a bit of a brief intro there, saying that we've got, the former WBO Cruiserweight World Champion, that is Enzo Mac. Are you very much looking forward to this, Kate?
You know what, Scott? I've been buzzing for this, mate. Since we sorted it with Enzo, I've been really looking forward to it. I mean, he's a Welsh boxing legend. We're about to be joined by a Welsh boxing legend. As you said, former world champion, WBO Cruiserweight champion. So, yeah, it's one I've been looking forward to. And he's certainly a character and a big personality in the sport as well. So, definitely, mate.
Okay, but well, I suppose let's get him in. We are quite partial to a technical glitch key, aren't we? But I think we're looking good so far.
Let's keep our fingers crossed as always, mate. 3 Welshmen in a Zoom. Sounds like a joke, doesn't it?
Hey, mate, you right?
Yeah, you okay, Enz?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad.
I just want to say for everybody that's going to watch this, we don't provide subtitles. So if you're not from the valleys, then I think you're a bit screwed.
Right. Can I do a couple of podcasts. Can I swear on this one?
Yeah, you go for it, Enz.
Of course you can, Enz. Of course you can, mate.
Thanks for that.
So, I mean, Enz, how are you? How was lockdown been? How are you? I mean, you all good?
Yeah, it hasn't been too bad, mate. It's I run an amateur club, so it's giving me a bit of time to rip the floor out, re-concrete the floor, re-get things ready, which needed to be done. I set up a gym in my garage, so I've been nice and fit. I've been training hard, so yeah, it hasn't been too bad.
Oh, wicked. Well, that was my next question was, how is the amateur gym? Have you been told when you're opening back up fully? Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I've been told Monday I can open up. It's only normally I got about 50 members, but it's only 10 at a time allowed in. So I'll put the feelers out who wants to come, what certain times. I'll end up being there all night, but I know a couple of them have suffered, and a couple of them have struggled being without the boxing. So it'd be nice to get back.
Have you got to wear the full-on visor ends and spray everything?
No, they haven't said nothing like that. They haven't said nothing like that. I've got to disinfect the place. I got to antibacterial wipe the bags. I got to make sure the hand sanitizer's there. I got markers on the floor so everyone stays 2 meters apart. It's got to be chaos, but it's a good bunch of boys. So look forward to seeing them.
No, wicked, mate.
Now, Enzo, obviously, you've got a career that you can look back on with such pride, mate. Achieving every fighter's dream, I think it's fair to say, and becoming a world champion in the sport. I just want to ask you, Enzo, what part of your in-ring career do you look back on with the most pleasure and pride, mate?
To be honest, right, it's most of it. I just love, people say when I'm on Twitter how approachable I am, and I'm just a fan. I'm just a fan. I just love boxing. I love what I did. I got paid to punch people in the head for a living. It was great. It was a sport, and I loved it. But everyone asks me what's my favourite moment, and everyone thinks it was winning the world title. And obviously it was, but my dad always wanted me to be a world champion. So to see his face when I won it, that meant more to me than actually winning the world title. So it's loads of highs, loads of lows, but wouldn't change it for the world. I probably would, but I'll keep out another day.
I'm just wondering, is there, no, you've touched on it, is there a less obvious highlight that maybe us fans won't know about? Maybe, I don't know, something quite obscure that might have happened you hold in such high esteem?
It wasn't shown on TV. I won a European title out in Russia, St. Petersburg, Russia. We went out there. Well, I had a phone call about 3 weeks before. Do you remember the prize fighter?
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Chris Jenkins won a prize fighter, didn't he?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I got an offer to win that. I got offered money to enter that. But then I had an opportunity to fight in Russia at 3 weeks' notice against a guy I think he had like 18 knockouts in 19 fights or something like that. And Frank took me. I went and meet Frank, and he said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "Well, a European title fight." And he said, "Well, I hope we do the prize fight." He said, "I think it's easier. Like, it gets you more money, better for you. But for me, European title out in Russia." So I get to Russia, guess the arena, guess the press conference. They asked me, and they said, "What's going to happen tomorrow night?" And I said, "I'll knock him out first round." And they all laughed. All of them laughed. They said, "Oh, Kotlevay's an animal. Kotlevay's an animal." So Mark Warner and Ron was with me from the boxing board. They had to travel out to, keep me company, make sure everything was above board and stuff like that. And they said, "Oh, you can't be bragging too much." I said, "Look, I'm telling you now, I'll knock him out first round." So guess the arena. As we were about to walk in the arena, a ring girl come out. She come out with an English flag. I said, "What's that for?" She said, "Oh, you have to wear it." I said, "I'm not wearing it." She said, "Oh, the promoter." I said, "I'm not English." I said, "I'm Welsh." She said, "Yes, England." I said, "No, it's not." So they threatened that they would pull me off the show if I didn't wear it. I knew they wouldn't pull me off the show, so it was the main event. So we went there anyway. Cut a long story short, I knocked him out first round, won a European title.
And would you have worn it if you knew they were going to pull you, or were you just proper dead against wearing an English flag?
Well, at the end of the day, I remember boxing. when I won my world title, when I think it was during the 2006 World Cup. And I can't remember else was on the bill. It was in the Principality Stadium. And we done a press conference 8 weeks before. And in the press conference, they brought out 4 England shirts. I think it was me, Amir Khan, Danny Williams, and Matt Scout. I could be wrong, but along them lines.
Yeah.
And he said, right, we're going to a photo shoot. I said, well, what's that for? He said that you have to wear it for the promotion. I said, I know wear it. He said, oh, it's the World Cup. I said, I not supported England. He said, oh, against England. I said, not against the English. I said, I just can't support England. I said, if you want to give me a team, give me Italy. As it happens, they won the World Cup that year. So I said, give me an Italian top. He said, oh, you'll have to wear it. I said, look, I'm fighting an Argentinian boy. If I walk out in my national stadium in an England top, that Argentinian, that fucker will have more fans than me. There's no way I'm
Oh, that's brilliant, Enzo. Now, Enzo, I got to say as well, mate, as always, on your Twitter, I've been following, I've been seeing you've been training hard, really active. The question I got to ask you, as I'm sure you're always asked, are we going to see big Enzo Mac return into the ring competitively anytime soon?
Hopefully, yeah. I'm fit. I'm just as strong. I've been doing a bit of sparring with Nathan Thorley, so that's been good. He's fighting on Friday night. I've been out the ring for 4 years, and I jumped straight in with Nathan. I kept myself fit. I know a couple of things, and it was good sparring. And I'm not there yet. The timing's all over the place, but it's coming. And big thanks to Nathan as well. I'm helping Nathan out, but he helped me out as well. He made me. I sort of not found my level, but I knew there's much more to come. And it was good sparring. Taught me a lot of things about myself, what I got left, and the sort of hunger. So hopefully we will. And I'll have a couple more spars. I might think I'm fucking useless, and then I won't do it. I won't do it unless I'm nearly as what I used to be.
Is that itch turning into a bit of a rash, mate? Is it to get back in there? Like,
if I'm honest, right, I've been thinking about it for a while, and last year I'd done a bit of sparring. I won't mention no names, but I'd done a bit of sparring. I say 18 months ago, I'd done a bit of sparring. Felt good, felt strong. The boy coming down with a big name and stuff like that. He didn't go very happy, so I knew then. All of a sudden, then I lost my brother, who was my co-trainer in the gym. A couple of days later, I had a car accident. A car went in the back of me. I herniated a disc. So I obviously followed into it. I've been
moaning about your back for a while, haven't you, but
oh, mate, honest to God, I've been debilitated for a year. It's the worst pain I've ever had in my life. I couldn't stand longer than a minute. I couldn't sit longer than a minute. It was just it was a treacherous injury. It was the worst thing I've ever think. So if that hadn't happened, I would have had the 50th already. So now,
Yeah.
after a year out, no running, no boxing, I used to go on a stationary bike, couple of weights. I found a good physio, Anthony Carter. He was the Ospreys physio. He got me on the right road to recovery. I found CBD oil, which I'm a big believer in. And, you know, bit by bit, it started getting better and better. Now I'm back running, now I'm back sparring. I never thought I'd walk again, never mind spar again. So where I am at the moment, I'm happy.
Oh, wicked, mate.
That's great to hear, mate.
It's quite a coincidence because Ciaran, you spoke to Nathan, didn't you? I think it was a week or two back, and he mentioned on there
that's right.
that he'd been sparring you ends. I'm just thinking, was the fact you sparred with, you know, a young sort of fighter and you obviously held your own, is that added to your desire to come back? Was that being the sort of nod for you?
Yeah, it was. And, you know, like I said to Nathan after we sparred, I told him a few things. You know, Gary's my trainer. Gary's a great friend of mine as well. So we're all in the same camp. And, you know, it was, I said to Nathan, you know, I'm helping you, but you're helping me as well. You know, I could have gone in with someone, felt amazing, but they were useless. With Nathan, you know, I had to think a little bit more. I had to get myself, like I said, I'm not what I was for a minute. You know, I think it was 3 spars in 4 years, but I got better each time. Nathan got better each time, and it was good sparring. It was good friendly sparring.
I mean, it's a big fight for Nathan on Friday, as we've mentioned. En's obviously fighting for the Commonwealth title against Chris Billam-Smith. I just want to ask you, Enz, I mean, you've been in and around him, bit of sparring, as you've said. How impressed have you been with the preparation that you've seen? What's your thoughts on the fight, mate?
Yeah, I'm a big Billam-Smith fan as well. He's a good fighter. He likes to come well. You know, I done a bit of sparring with Nathan. First time we sparred. You know, I'm one of these lucky people. I can pretty much throw any punch in a book. You don't see him coming uppercuts, hooks. You just don't see him. I got ways of setting him up as well, where if you're not that experienced, you won't suss him. So I caught Nathan the first day with a couple of these shots, and I told him after how I caught him.
Yeah.
The second and third spar, I couldn't catch him. So he learned straight away, which I was very impressed with. Then he come down. He come down to do a training session with me. I couldn't train that day, but I put him through one of my sessions that I used to do. You know, he found it hard, but he done it. He grinded in. Very impressive, and it's a big fight for him. And you know, he's travelled the world as an amateur international, and you know, I really hope he does the business. But he is up against it. It's a tough fight, but he's confident, he's ready, and he's certainly fit.
And as you said there, I know obviously your relationship with Gary, a former coach of yours and a good friend, as you've said. I think there's no better man, as I'm sure you'll agree, to have him immensely prepared for that fight on Friday. And
no, Gary's been there, he's done it. You know, he's fought at a high level. He never won a world title. And unlucky for Gary was one world title chance he had. He fought a beast of a man in Kelly Pavlik. He was, pound for pound up in the top 3 or 4 at the time. But Gary got tremendous knowledge, and you know, I like to call him a miserable git most of the time, but he's actually not. You know, we have a good laugh and we get on very well. So, you know, if with Gary, he's one of these rare boys. As it's all for his fighters. It's all for the fight. He'll do anything he can for the fighters. He'll never take the piss, and he don't like people taking a piss out of their fighters. And you know, Gary's a good guy to have in the corner. I hate talking nice about him, I'll be honest, but yeah.
So say, well, touch wood, hopefully Nathan comes through, and what do you think would be the next step from them? Obviously, you know, a win on Friday would catapult them in a quite high in the division. What would you expect them to do next then?
I quite assume it'd be a British title shot next, which is Richard Riakpo, another good fighter. You know, some good fighters on at domestic level. But you know, it's one step at a time. It's one step at a time. Billam-Smith fought Riakpo. It was a really good close fight. He lost some points. Some thought he won, some thought he lost. It was a good fight. So you know, but Nathan's just going to concentrate on the job. Never mind, fuck all what's next. Like just get his mind on the job, get the fight done, and then see where we go.
I want to touch on as well, obviously Nathan's fighting on one of Eddie's fight camp shows. Really impressed with the first show that we watched. Just want to see your thoughts, Enzo, on Eddie's fight camp so far, and also Frank Warren's efforts. What have been your thoughts on it, mate?
It's just nice to have boxing back. I think the fight camp, it produced one fight, one card. It produced good fights. I was impressed with a couple of boys. Impressed with Fabio Wardley. I was impressed with Jordan Gill. I think Dalton Smith. And Bennett, the opponent, I think he boxed well. Cheeseman Eggnam was a hell of a fight.
That's a great scrap on
it. With Frank, I think with Eddie at the moment, he's got the more recognisable names. I hate saying the casual fan, but that sort of thing. Frank's got the more youngsters. The youngsters no one's ever heard of. They come in up. They got to learn their trade in a different way. So it's different. It is. It's different. But for me, boxing, as much boxing as we can have on the TV, the better for me.
I agree, mate.
Well, how would you feel about it if you were, Nathan Thorley now? If you were one of the guys fighting in Eddie's garden, stuck in a bubble, no fans, is it something that you would fancy, or would you fight anybody anywhere?
I wouldn't give a fuck, mate. I'd be totally
I thought you'd say that, Enz.
I've been to Russia, I've been to Germany, I've been to Russia twice, and it was like, not one person was there shouting for me. I couldn't take off. They couldn't get visas. It wouldn't bother me in the slightest. But now, when in my 50th fight, I don't think I could do it behind closed doors. I think I've always wanted to do it. For people who followed me through the years, it's probably my way of saying goodbye. So I don't think I could do it at this point in time.
Do you think
another big?
Sorry to interrupt you. Obviously, your last fight was for a European title, wasn't it, which you lost. Do you think if you would have won that fight, that maybe you would have called it a day then? Is it do you need this win? Is that why you're coming back, do you think?
It's not so much the win, mate. It's the way I was that night. Everyone get caught. I take risks, and that is my game. If I look back at my career, all the times I've been caught, they've been against top level boys, and it's always been me taking a risk, trying to finish a fight. I could not try and win a fight on points. I couldn't do it. That night against Kutcher, I lost. I went in there. I didn't have 3 weeks' notice, but I wouldn't use that as an excuse. I was super fit. I'm always strong, always ready to fight. It didn't warm up properly. It was too hot in there, so it didn't warm up properly. I thought I didn't need to. I got in the ring. My mind was somewhere else, and nothing in general. Just my mind was something else. And I remember catching him straight away with the left hook of the body, and he produced that. So I remember thinking, oh, this ain't gonna be too long. Now I'll take my boy to football in the morning, and then I got caught. I'm literally thinking of driving home from London to pick my boy up to take him to a football tournament that day. And like I said, no excuses. If your mind's not on a job, your mind's not on a job. And for me, I think that's what happened that night. I went for the finish, one finger straight, and got tagged.
Another big boxing event that we can't ignore, Enzo, I think it's fair to say, is the fight between exhibition fight, as it's called, between somebody who you fought and beat, Roy Jones Jr. and Mike Tyson. What's been your thoughts on that, Enzo? Because I know some have been for it, some have been against it. Where do you stand on it, but?
I'm against it for the fact because of the age.
Yeah.
I'm more, mental health at the moment is a big thing, big stigma, and I think people wouldn't understand. Get all these Melvins, as I like to call them, on the Twitter, who get them chucking a 10 pence in and stuff like that, and they think this and think that. When a fighter retires, a fighter like Tyson, a fighter like Jones, who
they did all right then, didn't they?
Pardon?
I said they didn't do too bad, did they?
Not exactly, but when they have that sort of, they generate that electricity, that atmosphere in the ring, they will miss that. And all fighters in general, when they finish, they're at a high level. They put all their life into fighting. They don't worry about property. They don't worry about that. They put all their life into fighting. And when the time comes and it's over, things start going wrong. Mental side of things, they don't care. They don't do this. They can't do that. They just go into a rut. So for me, do I want them to fight again? No. Do I begrudge them? No. The only thing I'm happy with is they're fighting someone a similar age.
Yeah.
They're not fighting somebody coming up. They look.
Yeah, because I think.
pass
Sorry
the
to interrupt
medical.
you, Enz, but I know there's when the first Tyson videos came out with him on the pads and doing bits on a bag, I think a lot of people are getting carried away with it. I've seen some shouts, as I'm sure you have on social media, people saying he's going to win a world title again. It's just crazy, but
you're not going to come close. You're not going to come close.
No.
Give him a one-round world title fight. He'll give you a nightmare to anyone in the world. But after a round, that's
exactly.
it. And, as long as they fight in each other and they pass all the medicals, I am got that much of a problem with it. But if they were fighting someone younger, and it was sort of to make a run for a title, then I would have a problem with it.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more with it there. And I was doing a bit of research into it, and apparently is on this new social media platform called Triller, and is being classed as some sort of legend series, which gives me the impression I think they're going to start to look to bring others back. Do you think this is going to be a one-off, or do you think they're going to start to try and bring back the Holyfields, the Bows to fight each other? What do you think?
Yeah, I do. I think Holyfield's already in training. I think Tyson said himself is going to be like a Legends League of boxing. And like I said, it's the inability to do something you've done every day for 30 years. And you literally, people don't understand the routine a boxer would get in, like get up in the morning, running, having his breakfast, going training again, watching his diet, getting in the right sleep, getting up over again. It's a routine. Same as boys that go in the army and come out of the army, they suffer because they're in a routine for years and it's gone. It's hard to say because I just think if they medically cleared, and I mean total medical clearance, as in brain scans, everything, and they only fight him with bigger gloves and they fight in over short. Yeah, I'd rather shorter than that. It's hard for me to say who've not so much suffered like them, but I have found myself lost. I'm lucky I've got a boxing gym there which I look after to keep me occupied. But it's just a hard thing to let go, being a fighter. Be a sportsman in general, but I think a fighter where it's one-on-one, you get nothing like it. So if the Legend League come about, as long as they medically cleared, as long as they fighting someone the same age, you can't really begrudge them.
Now, Enzo, we got you on the podcast, mate. I could not ask you about this. Obviously, the man we're speaking about there, Roy Jones Jr., your fight, he's one of the pound-for-pound greats of all time, as we know, but you beat him with a devastating fourth-round knockout, but one we always remember. Still love watching that one back now. I want to know, how did that fight come about to happen in 2015, mate? What was the story behind that then?
I was in Cardiff. And I don't know where we were shopping. We were shopping somewhere, and the wife went in somewhere, and as I normally do.
Marks and Spencer's no one knew about, I expect.
I'll sit in a car and wait. So she's in there for an hour. I'm sitting in a car. I have a phone call of Frank Warren. Frank says to me, we've just had a phone call from Vlad Hernov, Jones's promoter from Russia. Would you be interested? I didn't ask for money anyway. I said, yeah, go on. Yeah, too right.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. They took me out there. They took me out there for a press conference. It was like the time difference. We got there, say, 5 o'clock in the morning at the time, but it was like 9 o'clock there, so I hadn't slept all night. I look half pissed on the press conference table. I blurred in my words. I'm knackered. I'm totally fatigued. I didn't know how to do all these press conferences. But we went to this hotel. It was like a 6-star hotel. They had a Rolls-Royce garage downstairs in the hotel. It was that sort of posh. And then we had to go outside to go to the arena. And as you go to the arena, this Rolls-Royce pulls up, takes Roy in the car, takes him over. And I'm waiting for my car now. And me and Richard Maynard, I fucking swear to God, it was a 3-wheeler.
Delboy turned up, did he, End?
Delboy rocked up.
Delboy turned up. And we get to the arena. All the camera crews there, fucking didn't bother me in the slightest, didn't come near me, all Roy Jones. And I said, look, he's made a mistake. I said, I've only brought up you, so you think I'm finished? I said, I'm not finished at all. I said, trust me. Gets to the fight, goes to the Alex Hughes, Zach Davis, Gary come out with me, good, really good bunch of boys, good laugh. Alex Hughes, brilliant. Goes to the doctor, and the doctor normally is like a nice, full of fights, like nice medical, check your hands, check your pulse, check your heart rate, check your ears, check temperature. I sat down on the table, he said, you good? I said, yeah. He said, good luck tomorrow. That was it.
That was it, like.
That's it. So we get to the weigh-in, we do the weigh-in, we shake hands. As he shakes my hand, I pull him towards me, and he tried to pull back, but I was too strong, so I pull him towards me. I said, look, it's an honour and a privilege to fight you tomorrow, but I will knock you out. And he laughed, he said, I'll knock you out. I said, trust me, I will knock you out. Like. So, and there we go.
Brilliant.
We did hear that you've gone into a bit of bother, Enz. Was you fearing for your life out there? Is that right? Somebody called the surgeon or something? Is that right?
Oh, I like to say this. So I still look over my shoulder, see someone there. I won't go into too much detail, but basically, it dragged me up the corridor. I think the promoter was so confident that Roy Jones beating me. I think Frank Warren told him I was finished and stuff like that. He just wanted me to have a payday and things like that. So I think he was so confident. He pretty much, in so many terms, guarantees a win, a knockout. So I think they've lumped a lot on it, and obviously come up short. Like so, it was a point that I feared for my life. So they come in a change room to grab us. Liam Williams smashes a bottle behind him. He's saying, if Big Mac's in, I'm in.
Straight in
there. Alex Hughes whispers to someone. He said, "Oh, I think I'll wait outside." He said,
brilliant. Is it fair to say this surgeon didn't have any medical qualifications? He weren't showing up doing anyway, was he, Enz?
Well, I didn't ask, I'll be honest. I didn't ask. And they thought everything happened. We went back to the hotel. We booked the flight 5 o'clock in the morning. So we changed our flight from the afternoon to 5 o'clock in the morning. On the way, guest to the hotel. We're in the hotel now. This is a story now. Alex, I love this. Guest to the hotel. They had goes in the hotel, and we thought, fuck it, what he's done to us now. All the boys started buying champagne and everything off the promoter's card in the hotel room. Champagne, cheesecakes. And I'm thinking, right, I can have 1 pint. And if someone comes back, I'm fucking ready to go. So I'm Alex is drinking, the boys are drinking. And I remember saying to Gary, I said, look, you better keep an eye on Alex. And bear in mind, at the arena, when Roy Jones got knocked out, Alex put his arm in the ring and pinched Roy Jones's gumshoe. He's got that gumshoe to this day. I know he still sleeps with it, he told me. So he's having cheesecake now, he's having champagne, I'm watching him. And Zach's got a bit tipsy, and I see Alex winding Zach up, and I'm laughing. They comical. So we get the limo comes to pick us up. So limo picks us up, and we go in the limo. Alex and Zach sitting to each other at the back. Me and then Gary and Francis and Liam after them. So as we turn the corner into the airport, all I hear at the back is. So I turn on, I thought, what the fuck is that? And all I hear is Zach. Oh, Alex, man, my jeans. It's spilled all over his
spilled everywhere.
We turned round into the airport. You can hear the spew spin across the floor. It was that mate. Right? It was on the ceiling of the roof. How the fuck he must have been fucking like that. It was everywhere. Guess out of the limo. We've got this little Russian driver now. And all you see is Alex going, oh, sorry, but I'll pay for that to be clean. So the boy pulls their bags out. Alex just spilled on all the boys' bags.
He thought he was in a taxi in Wine Street, did he, Enzo?
He spilled on all the bags. So Gary's bag comes out. And guys get, oh my God. Liam's comes out. Fucking hell, Alex. So Francis Warren's laughing now. He said, oh, boys, he's only young. He said, he learned. So next thing they pull Francis's suit bag out. It's fucking plastered. Right? Next thing Francis like, that little fucker. I said, look, you may be drunk. I said, we still do you. Like, so we get to the airport. I said to Alex, I said, look, Al, they're not going to let you on a plane, boy. He's covered in spew. I said, go in your case.
Yeah.
Go in your case, change your clothes, chuck your clothes in the bin, the ones you got on. Where will I go? I said, it was a massive pillar. It was like a 20-foot pillar. And I said, go behind there, get changed. So I turns around to talk to someone. I turns back. Alex is bollock naked in the middle of Moscow airport. Oh, mate, I've had some great trips there.
Oh, that just sounds about brilliant, fair play. Well, Enzo, just before we do leave you go, mate, we were speaking to sort of a mutual friend that we got yesterday. You're going to know who it is straight away now. He said this to me. See if you can guess, you're going to know who it is. Right, he said, ask Enzo about this. When we first started going to Bolton together, he had to share a bed with me, top and tail, which was a bit of a squeeze to say the least. He kept me up all night snoring, but the next morning, even still half asleep, I still blitzed him and all the other lads on a 10-mile run. He said even your nephew to buy us nearly had it as well. Who am I talking about, Enz?
Right, for a start, right, he's a lying fucker. I've still got a video on my phone of him snoring. I was to pick him up in Merthyr, take him all the way up the Bolton. He was like this boy, yeah. He was like a fucking slug running. He was like a fucking slug. He come last. He's all the cruiserweights, heavies. In Carl Dilk's well out of shape, and Kerry Hope was last every time. Don't listen to him.
He said he wouldn't have none of this here, and he said, I tell you now, he said he wouldn't have none of it.
How can you trust someone with a nose like that? Let's be honest.
I can't say anything.
But as it happens, Kerry's a good lad.
Well, I just want to say as well, to add on to it, and he did say, he went on to say, he said, wish Enzo all the best for me. And I quote him saying as well, he said, Enzo is the nicest guy in boxing and was an inspiration to train with, he said.
No, he's a great boy, Kerry. I got on well with him. I looked after him a few times as well, but he's a good lad, and you know, he was nice. He lived in Australia now, and when he come home, he found out where I lived, and he come and see me. So I was lovely. Kerry, even though I like, but did he tell you about the? I think I told you, didn't I, about his waiter's job.
That's right. Because remember, I done the live with Kerry, didn't I? And you give it to us the night before, didn't you? That's brilliant. That is.
God, right? He phones me up. I guess a text off him. Prick. I just like laughing out. I said, what do you mean? He said, prick. So he got up there now with his mate. His mate's jumped out the window and fucking left him on his own.
Yeah.
He's at a 21st gay party. He's the waiter at a gay party. He said
you couldn't write them, man.
He said he come home, he had pants in his pocket, he had four numbers, everything.
That's just brilliant, but absolutely brilliant.
Good lad, though, very good lad.
He's a great lad.
Before we go, have we been caught listening with any of those sex noise videos on Twitter?
To be honest, mate, right? I've been caught twice I've been caught a couple of times on a WhatsApp group. We've got to be fucking. You've got to be sharp to catch me. I'm so aware. I think I'm the most sought after person on Twitter to get caught with one of them. Like, but I won't get caught. I won't. I nearly did the other day, and I just got it in time. But,
you know what? I wish I could say the same, mate. That I've had it in all sorts of places, doctors, surgeries, everywhere. I've been caught out, mate. So I wish I could say the same.
And to be honest, when you get someone to tell you you've been caught in a dentist or something like that, that's the fucking best one. I've been caught in my school. I've been caught in my kids in school teachers meeting. Like,
oh my God. Well, Enzo, I just want to say, mate, on behalf of Southwest Boxing Media, it's been an absolute pleasure you giving us your time tonight, mate, and having a chat with you. So
welcome,
thank you,
guys, honestly. Welcome, honestly.
We'll catch up with you again soon, Enzo.
Ta-ra, boys. Take care.
Nice one, Enzo. Got yourself. Ta-ra, mate.
Ta-ra, boys.